when my father was in office, he had the ability to talk with people, all different types of people, which I think I have that capability as well. He had a better strength of being able to reach across the aisle of differences and get involved with people and try to get them to agree to his point of view. Now, sometimes that was a detriment to him because he was so darn stubborn. He wouldn't give up, and he wouldn't. He'd finally get to some points where he would just keep beating a dead horse, and he wouldn't walk away from it. I can walk away from things, so it's funny how some ways we're very similar, other ways we're a little different.
What are you the most comfortable in life right now?
Oh, I'm very comfortable with life. I mean, all aspects
well,
of it.
Well, but specifically, how do you relax? How do you get away from some of the stress that obviously comes from the job?
Well, I probably need to do more, to be honest with you. Victoria and I, we go out to dinner quite a bit, and we spend a lot of time just talking and just visiting and talking about the day's events, and that's a real relaxation for me. We do have a place to go to up on Grand Lake, and so that's always enjoyable. Traveling is always terrific. We go to OU football games. I have OU football game season tickets, so we go to all the games, and that's a great way to get away and just have a couple days or a couple hours of screaming for the home team and all that sort of thing.
Now, you travel somewhat with the job, and you're marketing Tulsa, Oklahoma. What kind of trips have you had?
Mostly to Washington, D.C., or a few to Dallas, Houston, but most of it's Washington, D.C., and that's really more of reacquainting myself with our delegation, let them know what our interests are from the city of Tulsa. But also, I think as importantly, or really more importantly in some cases, is getting acquainted with the staff members, the higher level staff members of the departments of transportation, energy, environmental protection agency, agencies that have a lot of influence on what happens in Tulsa, and getting to know those people that are the decision makers, those that recommend things to the Congress. We're getting to know them very, very well.
Most important issue today, I'm sure everybody will agree, is jobs and creating jobs. How do we bring jobs to Tulsa, and what kind of jobs can we bring to Tulsa?
Well, we have to have a strong environment that supports and promotes job creation, economic development. That's why I have such a strong team around us that deals with energy and aerospace. In my view, those are the two groups that we have already here in Tulsa. It's a very strong commitment and presence in both aerospace and energy. So we need to, in my view, work upon those. Those are our strengths. No reason to recreate the wheel, because we already have two pretty strong wheels right there.
Well, aerospace has been strong for us. I mean, it's been a godsend for the economy, and also the energy has been. Has energy played out really in Tulsa and Oklahoma? We were known as the oil capital of the world, but a lot of the action obviously is going to the Middle East and down into the Texas area. Where's the future of energy?
It is in all aspects of energy, but it's also, the future is in traditional energy, oil and natural gas. No matter how well the alternative energy idea is sold, it's still not necessarily affordable. There's no market for it yet in many, many ways. And so what are we going to do to get us from this point in time to that point in the future when the alternative energies are marketable, usable, and affordable? And the answer to that one is oil and natural gas. They have to be. That's our bridge fuel from now until those points in the future that I just described. Oil and natural gas is in Tulsa's DNA. It's in our history. Besides having the manufacturing side well represented throughout those aspects of the energy energy sector, we also have a strong worldwide known commitment to the education side of energy. I believe that Tulsa can become and is the education capital of this country insofar as energy education is concerned. It also is the manufacturing capital. It's certainly the capital of energy for the ability to put together deals. All that together, in my view, we can stake claim to being the overall energy capital of this country for energy manufacturing, education, and usefulness of the product.
Now, some Texans would disagree with you
Oh, yeah.
on that point. How do you fight that argument with another very articulate person coming and trying to sell the idea of, well, let's not do this in Oklahoma, let's not do this in Tulsa, but let's move that education base to Texas?
All the components of what we just described are in Texas, no question about it. But it's not all under one roof, so to speak, and that roof being Tulsa, Oklahoma. Here in Tulsa, Oklahoma, we are very committed, and we have a history of manufacturing of all the components of energy. We have educational institutions, University of Tulsa, University of Oklahoma, and Oklahoma State University, all of whom are very, very active, especially TU, in the higher end of education for engineering, geology, geophysics, all those different things involved with energy creation. We have companies that are here that have a tremendous amount of history. Our company's been here for 100 years, for example, and we're not alone. We're small, but we're active. And, but it's a good example of how the companies are able to come up with the entrepreneurial spirit that Tulsa is so well known for. Tulsa really has its roots in the private sector. That's what got everything started here in Tulsa, and that entrepreneurial capability, the deal making that we've done throughout this city for all of our history, it permeates it right here in Tulsa. And so we have all of those components together. And that's why I think I really am not stretching it when I say that the second century energy program that we're promoting in Tulsa really does stake the claim that we are the capital.
Now, you're also tying a lot of the future into the fact that there's got to be a transition eventually, a century from now or whenever, we're going to be looking at alternative fuels. How can Tulsa and how can Oklahoma position in such a way that we can benefit by that transition phase?
It is not that difficult, in my view, to transition from the traditional forms of energy into the alternative forms, because the concepts are the same. Energy. You know, we understand, we in the energy industry are very familiar with the entire concept of energy, about how necessary it is for our economic well-being, for our strategic best interest, for our national security. We all understand that very well. And whether it comes in the form of oil or natural gas, or whether it comes in the form of electricity being created by sunlight or by wind or by some magic potion that has yet to be developed, the concept of energy is common throughout that whole discussion. And we in Tulsa, we can educate for all these different, and we are educating right now, for all those different aspects of energy, whether or not they're traditional or alternative and yet to be discovered. The University of Tulsa has a very, very aggressive, very well-known program of managing and teaching the various forms of energy and how that can be marketed, discovered, utilized, and business-wise created.
I'm going to make you be a teacher right now and give a grade. Grade Tulsa, grade Oklahoma in terms of where we're positioned for the future in the energy equation compared to other states.
I'd say A+. We really are, because geographically we're right in the center of the company. We understand the whole concept of energy very well. We have all the tools at our disposal. All we need to do is just put them all together and market it. That's all we have to do.
Speaking of marketing, there's a river a little ways down the road here. What can be done to develop that river to make Tulsa more attractive?
Well, we're starting that process right now. The city of Tulsa owns quite a bit of land on both sides of the river, but especially on the west side of the river near the 21st Street Bridge. We have about 100 acres. And we are going to put that out to the public to give us proposals on what the private sector thinks that can be done to that land in order to make it usable and saleable, and put it in a position where it can either be used for residential purposes or commercial, retail, whatever that might be. But we're starting that process now, and I think that that RFP, the request for proposal, will probably be disseminated to the public next month.
Now, Oklahoma City has got the brick town and they've got the canals and things, but the Arkansas River is something that God and the Army Corps of Engineers has created for us. How do you get water in there?
Well, it's funny. The dam upstream, the Keystone Dam, they seem to open it at night, so nobody really sees it unless the moon's out. So hopefully we can change things around a little bit with the Corps of Engineers. But one of the key components is going to be the installation of 2 new dams and the rebuilding of our current dam, making it a little bit taller and wider, making the lake much larger. I think those things happening are very, very important to the sailability and usability of the river, but that's coming.
In terms of the Arkansas River and other elements, what's the most important thing you can do to make Tulsa more attractive for businesses looking to locate here?
Well, we certainly have to have a very strong business climate. As far as the river goes, I think that if we can show that we have the capability as a city and as a community to utilize that resource very well and use it where it is in our collective best interest, where it does create a buzz. If you just go over to the 21st Street Bridge on the west side and look across the river and look at the skyline and the hills, it's a beautiful view. And that, to me, is one of the more prime spots up and down the river, is the west bank of the river. Once that is completed, once something is put into place, everything else will fall into place so well, all up and down the river in a good, responsible way, that we can utilize that resource to our best interest. It'll create residential opportunities. People will live there, work there. Office buildings will be created. Retail establishments that will create sales taxes, which is always good for the city's coffers. So a lot of good things are going to happen with that river.
When you get out in the public, what's the most common question you're asked?
How you doing? It really is. Many people think that I'm just kind of beat up and tired, but I'm really not. I really am invigorated by the responsibility and the real honor that I have of being the mayor and representing the city. It really is a terrific thing that I'm experiencing right now. Victoria and I, my wife and I, are experiencing. We've been 1 year into this 4-year job, and I really, really enjoy it.
Well, just closing out, you talked a little bit about education. We're in a facility of Tulsa Community College. How does that fit into the equation for the future of Tulsa?
Well, Tulsa Community College is a great example of what the advantages are in the city of Tulsa. It and the other educational institutions get along so very well. There's no competitiveness between all of them. University of Tulsa, OU, OSU, TCC, they all work together, and they all are not at all adverse that if TU says, well, there's some great engineers, students that we're being approached by, but they need to go to TCC to first learn the ropes. They'll send that group to TCC to get enrolled and learn the great things that TCC can teach, and vice versa. TCC presents a very, very quality student to the to the higher ed community, to TU, OU, and OSU, and they take them just like that. So the ability for everybody to work together, to get along, and to work for the common good, what's best for the common good, TCC has exemplified that since the day that they opened up. They're a great, great institution. I'm real proud of them.
Mayor Dewey Bartlett, Jr., thanks so much for visiting.
Thank you. This is a real treat, Loren. Thank you.
And thank you for joining us. This has been Studio 21.